You ready, Chris?
You ready, Ben?
Let's get it.
Man, let's get it, man. Welcome to the Follow Then Lead podcast.
This is the Follow Then Lead podcast. You are here listening with Stacy, Ben, and Chris. How are we tonight?
We're doing all right. I'm doing great. Yeah,
That's
I'm having a good day, a good week.
That's good.
And I just feel good. Yeah, I'm starting to get back into like working out. I was saying it all summer that I was going to, but I just was enjoying life. And now I'm like, all right, things have slowed back down where I'm like, all right, I really need to fill my time up with maintaining like just feeling good.
Yeah.
And I know working out helps me to kind of in the morning feel good throughout my day.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's a bike ride to my job, it helps those endorphins, and I'm like, I'm good.
Right.
But I notice when I don't do anything,
Yeah.
I'm kind of sluggish throughout the day. I'm drinking coffee, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, I feel good because I'm doing all of that.
Word. I've been there before too, bro. It's that strong start to the day. That's what gets you right there. You know, you start the day strong, the entire day just falls in place. Everything's in order. Like I said, the energy, the good mindset, the good health, and now you can just tackle whatever you need to do. So it's beautiful, man.
How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. I am excited, man, because we got sister in the mix, bro. You know, one of my favorite books is Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
And I read that like 8 times. And one of the chapters in there, the author speaks about mastermind. And mastermind simply is a collective group of people in harmony accomplishing a greater goal. Like if it's a small goal, you can do that yourself. But the mastermind brings in 2, 3, or 4 people to accomplish a purpose. And when I see this, when I see you, when I see sister over here, this is what I'm seeing, like a mastermind to accomplish something great. So I'm excited. You already know how I feel. When people come in the mix, yo, I'll be amped, bro.
Yeah.
So, yo, I'm good. I'm golden. Yeah, like I said earlier, I ain't got no complaints. Be good.
Always all good. How you doing, Stacy?
I'm
So
doing-
again, this is, you said Stacy, but
Yes.
say your name, your full name.
My name is Stacy Chwangem.
Chwangem.
Yes.
Nice.
You do so well. So well. I'm good. I'm doing good. A little tired today. It's my fault. I slept a little past my bedtime, but grateful. God is moving, which I'm very grateful for. And I'm honestly really humbled to be here. So thank you so much for the opportunity too.
Oh man, we're grateful to have you.
Big time.
Yeah. Well, we're humble also.
Yeah. Man, so the topic we have today, man, you guys strap your wigs on. Family. Let me say that again. Family.
Family.
Yeah, family, y'all.
Family.
Yeah, let that set in, man. So family is the topic for today. And, yo, I'm sure we all got something to add to that. You know, so what comes to mind when we think about family and how it ties into, you know, men and the community, etc. You know, so I'll start with sis.
When I think about family, I think about a network of support. Definitely a place where if I fall, someone's there to catch. Someone's there to listen and to guide in some way, shape, or form. I think of generation. I think of pain, but I also think of love. I think of cycles. I think of hope. Family carries such a big depth. I think about the family of Christ and how we're all a part of that.
Yeah.
I think about children and my passion for children. And I think family is not just bloodline. I think it carries in different relationships we have with people and friends, and the callings that the Lord calls you into. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. That's dope. That's beautiful.
She spoke on a lot.
Yes, she did, man.
Like generational
Every-
things,
Right,
right? Just
yeah,
not
right,
even
right.
like everyone always thinks about like generational curses.
Nah.
It's always the first thing.
It
Right.
really is.
But there are
bro.
also, I saw the other day some posts. It was like there are a lot of great things that have been passed down to us too that we also need to be aware
Right.
of. And not looking at only the negative, but like,
Mhm.
okay,
That's
what did I
facts.
learn from my parents or my grandparents, or what was given to us,
Yeah.
you know, from our parents coming to this country, you know what I mean? Whatever. So
yeah, tradition ain't such a bad thing, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not always.
No, not always.
Yeah, not
Right.
always.
Yeah.
So for me, when I think of family, I agree with you on the family's not only blood, right? I know for me, when I think of anyone in my life that I feel I've made a connection with, oh, that's my brother, oh, that's my sister. And I'll always think that. Even though we might have an issue, we might have an understanding right now. My relationship with you doesn't change because we haven't talked in 5 years. As soon as we
That's
catch
good.
up again, I still have that. You my family. Like, whatever you need, I got you. Let me know. You know, I've had friends from years I haven't talked to, and I talk to them like I talk about them like, oh, that's my friend. That's
Right.
Yeah,
oh, that's my brother. Like,
Yeah.
if something happened, I got them. So I agree with you on that. But when I think about family, I think about the importance of like men, and like I guess I've talked about this before with my stepfather. Like, I've always, like, I grew up for a long time like struggling with my idea of what he didn't do for me. You know, I didn't have the connection with him and all that.
Yeah.
But all the experiences I've had as a child, just going to, certain beaches, going to, the Vineyard, going to Salisbury Beach, New Hampshire, whatever, Hampton Beach up there. And then going up there and as an adult, and it's like, oh, I did this as a kid.
Yeah.
And it just connects you, to all the things that you do. And so when I think about family, I think about like those experiences, the memories as a child that you get through the things that you do as a family. The fun stuff, the ups and downs.
There you go.
I remember, when the lights went out for a week and we just used candles, at night, as a family. And so you play cards and
There you go.
it's that connectedness. When I think about family, I think about that connectedness.
Oh,
And I think that's like really important, but yeah.
that's dope, man. Now you got me amped with the whole because I'm big on family. So when you speak about the lights going out and you guys is using candles, but you made the better of that situation, because you was with family, you weren't even tripping, bro. Like that's so powerful. Like that just speaks to any adversity that comes, any bad situation, you can turn it around for good if you surround them with family, man. So that matters right there. So when I think about family, I think about the statement, you're only as good as the people around you. And family for me is like the original influencer for us as kids, either good or bad.
Right.
We see Big Daddy, grandfather, pops, uncles, cousins. We see how they maneuver and how they act. We gonna take on their role as a young man. Like, so that's family is like the original influencer. Same thing with moms, aunts, grandmama, all of that right there. That's for me. That's the original blueprint for us as kids coming up. And Stacy, you spoke on the pain. I was like, that's dope. It's a one word, but it was some power in that. So when I think about pain, it's like I just recently lost my grandmother. So it's like, yo, you think about the pain, it's like, dang, family's gonna cause you some pain. It can be inflicted, like as far as I don't know, somebody stealing your Jordans or something like that. That's gonna cause you some pain. Be upset about that, or a loved one passing. But that pain is because I got mad love for you.
Right.
So it's gonna hit. So family is family, yo. Yeah.
Can I touch on something you just said? So I think about my grandfather passed away back in 2017, and I went back home to Cameroon for the first time, and I went to see a bunch of family members I hadn't seen since I was born. And it's always, when I mentioned pain, it also brings in this comfort and love because you get to bring in the people that were in the family to begin with. It's one of those really difficult things that also bring in people because you all share this one common factor. You loved this person, right, who supported you in some way, shape, or form, no matter what the history was. And there's beauty in that. I think there's a different type of love that's carried when families together.
True.
I don't know if you guys, like, there's that warm blanket feeling where it's like, you know whose auntie's who, you know whose uncle's who, you know who's really good at what,
Yeah.
you know who you probably shouldn't be asking advice from, you know who's really good at making the food, you know who you can trust about that stuff. And it's like, you can't replace that with anything else.
You really can't.
Like, nothing can change that. That's just one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, your environment growing up is so important. Like, when you start talking about all of that, it's like I go right back to, and I'm sure you guys have had them, like family reunions.
Oh yeah, those were dope.
My grandfather used to have them. He passed when I was 17, but we used to have them every year. And so we knew who was gonna make the beans, you know, because they was smacking.
Yeah.
First it was my grandfather, then it was my Uncle Reggie. He was making the beans. But you know, you think about like just coming to that space, you just seeing your family you haven't seen in a while, or having fun, just eating and playing, and you know, you see all the fellas, all the men go into the living room to chill, talk, you know, have a few beers or whatever, but the men were together. Women were outside,
There
so
you go.
you know, with the food and the kids, and
and
the boys are over there playing basketball. That's what we were doing,
Yeah.
you know. It's like all the things I remember. The biggest thing that I remember for me when it came to like that was I guess the two things, my admiration for my grandfather, you know, and I wanted to touch on that like, you know, we don't realize who these people are. You know, we just know what it's like when we're with them.
Right.
And then as we get older, we start to learn about
True. Yeah,
what
they
this
are.
person has done
That's true.
to those before us. And then based on that, our attitude towards them should change. So then it removes that like loving, like feeling that I had being with this person.
Yeah.
But for me, when I think of my grandfather, I heard all the stories,
Right.
how he was.
Yeah.
It never changed how I
There
felt
you
about
go.
my grandfather.
Exactly. Yeah,
I idolized him because I saw the head of a family.
There you go.
And I saw when we all came together because of him,
Right.
you know. And the biggest thing that I think of is that like I would see my cousins, my uncles, all come with like their families.
Yeah.
And it was like his blessing on,
There you go.
you know what I
feel
mean,
you on
their
that.
family. And I was like, man, I always wanted that.
Mm.
And that was me in high school.
Right.
And I'm like, dang, I don't have that.
Mm.
You gonna get
You know what I mean?
I was
you
about
know,
to say,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not late
no,
for that.
No, I know, but I'm saying from obviously my grandfather.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna have a family, like I'm, you know.
understood.
But
I
that
got you.
I'll never have
From
that.
that start.
Understood.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have these like things with the pain that you touched on. That's pain. I think I'll probably always think about that.
Nah, I feel you on that one right there, because my grandmother never be able to see her, great grandchild that I'm gonna be able to give her. So I feel you on that one right there. That's some pain right there, bro. I feel you on that one. But and to touch on what you said too, same thing. You know, I had uncles. You know, you're hearing stories about them, bad stories, but I'm like, yo, that's still. I got Uncle Reggie too, but I'm like, yo, that's Uncle Reggie. You know, that's Uncle Zach, and then I'm like, I don't care, because you know they always show me mad love. They show me respect. They show me what a man is supposed to do and what he's not supposed to do. As we get older, you got to keep in mind we all make mistakes. You know,
Right.
we all make mistakes.
They're all
you know?
human.
Exactly. So they went through the trials and the fire. They did what they did, but came out better. Just hearing from you two and myself, like family is just that ultimate. I think y'all done already spoke on it a little bit, but family is just that ultimate support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think about emotional. I think about as far as like wealth, all that other stuff, like success. All that stems from just the empowerment of family. Grandfather. He may not have owned a business, but I'm sure he set down some foundation and structure.
Yeah.
That can thrust. Well, here we are right now. Followed and leads. You know what I mean? You can't tell me that he did not have something. He got something to do with this.
Yep.
Same thing with you, Sister Stacy. Everything that you're doing with your profession and what you got going on empowering young women. I'm sure your people's, your family, that support, that structure, the advice and wisdom you gain from your peoples, they got you doing what you're doing right now.
You know, it's funny. So I come from a slightly different background because most of my family is out of the country. And, you know, a lot of them, before I met most of them, again, back in 2017, it was a lot of stories and a lot of word of mouth and sometimes phone calls with the phone card. But I will say, like, certain things I did learn from my family, like most of the people on my dad's side are educators. And so it only makes sense that I naturally went into that. And I never paid attention to it until I realized, oh, snap. I'm like most of the people on my dad's side of the family. But I also have like a very tenacious personality. And I get that from my mom's side of the family. My grandmother, who passed away 4 years before I was born, was an international merchant. She was all up and down Europe selling things. And this woman gave to everybody. So as my mom was telling me more about her, when she passed, like, everybody went to her funeral. Everyone. Because she gave so much. She was truly a matriarch. And I am still very much inspired by her giving, because till this day, people still talk about her, you know? And that type of stuff does certainly impact how I want to give back to young women too. Like, I want to do it as much as I possibly can, because I know my grandmother did it. So that stuff's just getting passed down now too. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
I feel you on that. Same thing with my grandmothers. They were just givers. Yeah. And to this day, everybody still remember them, bro. And I'm like that as well. Like, I just want to give to the people and make the people better. When I was younger, I was like, I want to impact the world so great that someone put a statue, put a statue somewhere of me, man. But that was just wishful thinking, man. I don't need all that now. I was just talking, but I want that impact. You know what I mean? And like you say, family just isn't blood. Who said that? Family just isn't blood.
Yeah.
It's connection. At the end of the day, you got people that you just vibe with, and you're like, yo, that's my brother. You got same thing, with you, same thing with me. But the people that I impact, that's family now. If it's a teenager, I'm like, bro, you my little brother now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna look out for you. If it's an older gentleman, we building, we growing. You family now. We got that connection now. So I just want to impact people, and at the end of the day, call them family.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still push for that statue, but
I think what matters, like, to go, like, family itself, like, it is designed to cultivate, like, healthy people. Right? It's supposed to create a healthy person that understands who they are.
Right.
Oh, I come from a line of educators. No wonder why I like to teach and to guide and, I have tenacious, women in my family. No wonder I'm fiery and I'm determined and go get it, like, I think that having these environments around us, these people, understanding them helps to understand ourselves, and also give us the confidence to just go out in the world, like, because we're in an environment of love. We should be in an environment of love and not lack. So if we're not lacking, we don't have that
absolutely, bro,
issue with ourselves.
Absolutely.
When we go into these competitive world, my first instinct in my head isn't to doubt myself.
Right.
It's to be like, oh, you're not even thinking about that.
Right. It's a different playing field.
Yeah, it's a different playing field. It's a different starting point.
Exactly.
Healthy family breeds identity. When you got identity, the doubt and the insecurities, all that other stuff, you ain't gonna have those issues. Like, you know who you are. So when you step out into the world, say educator, tenacity, all these great things. Like, I know who I am. I'm finna do this, I'm finna do that. Boom, boom, boom. Whoever I come across, they can't tell me I can't do this. Like, when that identity is there, like you said, that confidence, that breeds the success right there, bro. So family, you know where you come from and who you are. It's a beautiful, powerful thing, bro. So identity breeds the confidence, man.
Yeah.
So shifting it. So what are the roles now of men and women in a family? Not in a roles like, okay, what is your job?
Right.
But, like, bringing to the table, like, what is the importance of having a man in the family dynamic? You know, having a woman in the family dynamic.
What you mean? What are the roles?
Like, what is the importance of man in the family dynamic?
Man, just what has always been. You know, not to sound, I guess, repetitive or whatever, but to provide, you know, that strength. When I say provide, you know, when people say men need to provide, they always think money, but it's not that.
Nope.
You know, it's providing, you know, the strength, the wisdom, you know, love, security. We even talked about it, like it's okay for men to nurture and, you know, and to pass down teachings and all this other stuff, you know, display intelligence. So, and that itself, that's leadership right there. You know, it's not coming in, beating your chest, boom, 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 I'm the man. You know, nah, that's not leadership. You guiding your family into a land of prosperity.
I think of the importance of men and women too in a marriage relationship, fostering their children's talents and their skills, and how that also builds the confidence. So I can just imagine, you know, moms are naturally, generally more nurturing, whatever may have you. But can you imagine a father identifying his children's talents from the day they're born and paying attention to that and helping build that and foster that over time, and the leadership in that in itself,
That's
right?
good.
So I always think back to the children, because everything leads the kids. And it's so important as we are adults to think about what we do and how we do it and how it will impact them. And having a father figure in your life to, you know, teach you how to communicate, teach you about your tones, teach you that you're actually really good in, you know, building things or whatever you're good at, is really, it's just a different type of love. You know, I don't even have the proper words to describe it. Like, a mother's love and a father's love feels different, although it is very much love, but it does feel different. You know, you think about girls who love their dads. It's very different when girls love their mom. You know what I mean? And so I can just imagine, like, a dad supporting his girl at every basketball game she goes to. Like, that's amazing. You know what I mean?
The whole Venus and Serena story.
Yeah.
That's coming out soon.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope. I was
That's
thinking
gonna be
about
powerful.
Kobe
Gotta
and his
watch
daughter.
Kobe and his daughter.
Yeah,
Yes,
you know, even though mom was there, but it was just different that even though he's Kobe Bryant, but still,
Right.
you know, it's
She
like
don't
that.
see him as
She don't see
Kobe,
that, yeah.
No.
But it's like, you know, my dad.
That's my dad.
It hits different.
Yeah, it
Exactly. It hits different. And so I think it's so important for men to pay attention to that too when they have kids. Like, hey, pay attention to what those kids are really good at, because we're all built for something. There's a purpose for everything that we do.
Absolutely.
And when we nurture that, man, we're out of this world. We're out of this world.
Yeah, I agree with all of it. I think of it like a house. Like, men are the foundation, you know, to bear it all, you know, on our back.
Yeah, man, we got these big shoulders.
We got the
and
big
arms
shoulders for a reason.
For a reason.
But like all of this is my responsibility.
Yeah, and it is.
You know, like my wife, my kids, the bills, like that's all my responsibility. And I give all of that. Once I take care of it, I give it to my wife.
Yeah.
And she cultivates the home, love and the nurture,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I'm now like, yo, like you said, I'm going to teach you, like you was talking about, I'm going to teach my kids responsibility and what, you know, their roles and, you know, what they shouldn't be doing. Like, even the discipline, like, even back in the olden times, wait till your father get home.
Right.
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 His father was, yo, you need to get your act right.
Right,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? And I even see it with my dog. It's different. Like, I know, and I always relate dogs to kids now. But like,
Yeah, that's
It's-
real.
it's-
I'm glad
yeah,
you got
like-
that concept.
like neat. So my cousin watched the dog when I was away. He knows who to listen to, who's not. And I always talk to people when I'm like, listen, when you talk to a dog, you have to have more bass in your voice or a lower tone because it's more serious for them.
Right.
Or they understand it different than
Yep.
if you're like, hey,
We're
they're
playing.
like, oh, yes. You playtime? But if you're like, no, they don't understand that.
Yeah.
They're like, it's play. It's just playtime because your tone.
Right.
We're like, hey,
Yeah.
it's
They know it's
some
business.
different. Well, hold on. It's that little bass. And it's the same with like, for some reason, just the energy between the father and the mom. When father said no
That's it.
versus mom said no, you got a little wiggle room in there.
But when Pop said,
when Pop say no, it's like, I'm not gonna touch that.
you gonna take no chance with that one.
Yeah, so
It
I think
rumbles
like
different.
it rumbles different. So I think, when I think about the role or at least the responsibility of the man in the relationship is the foundation. Like you got to be trained and strong enough to bear that responsibility. You know, and one thing my father said to me, and he probably was saying it in like, I don't know, he was probably trying to make me upset or something. But I think about it, he was like, "Oh, I'm glad you haven't had kids yet." Or he was saying something like, "Oh, I'm glad you're not a father," because I don't know why. Because I wasn't doing something for him, he was now trying to make it like I'm not a good father. I'm not a father. But when I think about it, I start looking at family, role, responsibility. Like up until this point, I didn't get it all these years. I was living selfishly, doing what I wanted. Right. It was about me. Yeah. Even in relationships, it's still about me. And then when you, as a man, like you go into this, it's not about me at all. It's all about me when all of that is taken care of. Yeah. That shows me about me. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how that shows me.
Yeah, that's when you know you're ready.
That's when you know you're ready. Like I've taken care of all of this. Now that's my picture of me. Yeah. Any issue in all of this is a picture. Okay, where am I slipping? Right. You know what I mean? Like the kids are not out of order. Okay, where am I slipping in my consistency or my communication or whatever? Yeah. And I only look at that. I only say it like that because I look at my life when I get home and Kobe's not listening. My dog, he's not listening consistently. All right, where have I been spending time with him? Have I been taking him out and letting him play, getting out his energy? The more I do that, the more he's calm. He's listening. He's right next to me. You know, he's a very good dog. Yeah. But the less time I spend with him, the more he's home alone. The more, So I just look at it like that. Like the more you take care of the things that you're supposed to take care of, the more that shows you how, good you are in that family dynamic. Because things return good to you.
Yeah. It just seems like God just usher in his blessings when the man is in order. I like everything you said, bro. It's when you talk about, you doing the self-evaluation, like, yo, am I slipping here? If I am slipping, let me correct that. And then that's when blessings start coming in because you're correcting these issues and these situations. Like taking on a family, that's a major role. That's big. That's a big responsibility. And like, as the man, you gotta make sure you walking right. We're gonna have our slip ups here and there, but you need to make sure overall you need to make sure you're in order because it ain't about you no more. Right. If you mess up and you out here doing the wrong thing, you're gonna bring those curses not on yourself but on your family as well. Just the roles is flipped, you can bring those blessings on yourself and your family too. Right. I wanted to touch on something else you spoke about too, bro, about it's gonna come back to me. Hold on just a second, I lost it. It's gonna come back to me, man. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. About what part of it?
Oh yeah, you hold on, it's gonna come back.
Foundation, bear it on your back.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. So how do you guys feel about, because in today's society, men feel like the bulk of, responsibility shouldn't be on men. It should be split. Or should be
we going Dutch.
Yeah, bro. A lot of brothers feel like, it's 2021. Things is different. Women are making all the money. Blah blah blah.
I'll say it like this. Sorry, I know you. No, I'm gonna let you say something. Go ahead. What I'm realizing about me and where I'm at. Once my money's in order, I'm able to handle things. I don't need you to pay for anything. Yeah. I actually don't want you to. Why are you paying for it? I got it. I'm good. We going on the trip. I got it.
Yeah, that's dope.
Like that's my mindset, and I think that's the mindset of men and the men that have come before us. Like that's mine. Yeah. You my responsibility. Your happiness is on me. That's the caretaker. And much as we like men aren't caretakers.
No, there is a lot of caretaking.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm taking care of all of this. Right. So, and I think that we have it messed up because we don't. I think what's his name? Kevin Samuels. People, you know, it's mixed reviews on him, right?
Yeah.
But he gives a lot of slack to men also. It's not that he just gets on women.
Yeah,
he gets
makes
on
your
men.
brothers in line.
Yeah, and there's one thing he said. He was like, you know, when this girl was like, oh, you don't get on men. He was like, listen, I was doing the same thing I'm doing now for 3 years on just men alone. Nobody cared.
Nobody was listening.
Nobody was listening. But
When
as
it's
soon as
about
I
women,
say something about y'all, and y'all don't want to hear it, now I blew up.
Yeah. Ain't
But
that
y'all
something?
still here listening though.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, so what he was saying about men is that, you know, there's a kid that he was talking about. He was like early 20s and he wanted a girl and, you know, had start a family, la la la. He was like, bro, you don't even have two nickels to rub together.
Listen.
That's real.
You know, like, understand your job as a, you know, in the family. It's a responsibility of care and protection, provision. It's not just a fairy tale story.
Yep.
Like, this
It's
is
really
work.
Not, it's work.
And you got to put yourself in a position to handle that. And so I think, like, with those two things about realizing about myself and hearing those conversations, I think a lot of the issue with men in our world today is it's a lot of boys talking because they're not ready for the responsibility, and it's cool to talk like that because everybody else is talking like that.
That's dope. I can see that.
I don't really hear a lot of men talking that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
how old are these kids talking like that? You know what I mean? 18 to 35, maybe sometimes 40.
I'm about to say some 40, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they get caught up in it, but I think because of it, I think a lot of it is, you know, outliers of the millionaires, but a lot of it is an issue with confidence in your ability to provide. At least that's what it was for me for a while.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted you to, you know, oh, can you pay for this? Can you pay for that? You know? Now I'm like, yo, why? Only thing that matters to me is if you try.
That's a thing.
do.
Yep.
Only thing that matters to me.
Yep.
Just show me you care within the first few days. That you pull up, oh, let me pay for it.
Yep.
Man, I appreciate that. No, I'm good. Check
Yeah.
mark. You know what I mean? In my
Yeah,
head.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
And
you
that's
care that I'm taking care of you.
Yes.
You don't want it to be like you make me feel like it's my responsibility, even though it is.
I hear what you're saying.
But
Yeah.
you show that you're willing to
Put
be a part
into-
of it,
Yep.
you know, and put
Yep.
in.
Yeah.
Word.
When you show a man you care, that goes a long way.
Listen.
Go ahead,
Don't
sis.
even get me
I
started
want-
on that
Go ahead,
conversation.
I want to tag you in.
Yeah, tag it.
You mentioned, you know, the provision and the support and the foundation. And I think one of the greatest things that tends to be forgotten is the fact that you don't have to do it alone. Like, Christ is here for a reason, right? The burden of manhood, of carrying so much, is heavy. I will never know what that feels like because I'm a woman. I have my own burdens that I have to deal with. But Christ is there to support you in all of these decisions you have to make, in the discernment that you're going to need, the wisdom that you're going to need to carry out these different phases of your life as a husband, a father, etc. And so, you know, I think holding on to that truth is very helpful down the road. I know that's what I do as a woman. I definitely am like, okay, God, I know I want to be a wife and a mother one day. I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but I do know when the time comes, you're going to prepare me. The things that you're preparing me for right now are going to lead me to that next stage and continue to work in me to will and to do for your good pleasure. So I'm ready for those places in my life, right?
Woo.
And so...
Man, look, I bet you saw me cheesing, bro. She preaching in here, man. Get it in.
All right.
Go ahead, man. Keep going, man.
But
Keep
it's
going.
just so important that, you know, these young men that are just following what everybody's saying, you know, having the date cut in half, whatever, fine. If you want to cut the date in half, fine. But I'm not coming back because I need to understand what's really going on, right? Is it because you're trying to test me? Is it because you really are struggling? Like, let's be realistic with one another and let's see what's going on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I will respect a brother who's very honest with me. I don't have to agree with you, but you're honest with me, right? That's one thing. But also, you know, where are you? What caliber are you at? Because some guys are really out here trying to live this big dream, and it's like, bro, Your finances are all over the place. You should not be trying to live this life.
You ain't Jay-Z.
It's not real for
Shouldn't
you.
be trying to take nobody out right now.
That's
it.
realistically,
Right.
realistically, and I think a lot of, and I'll say people in general tend to do that, where they want to fit this mold and make sure they go to all the day brunches. You will not catch me at a brunch I can't afford, okay? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, you end up looking like a fool. Because then there's going to be someone who really wants to spend time with you and give you their quality time, and you can't even give them half of that because you weren't checking in yourself before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of brothers need to realize that too. Women who know, pay attention. And we catch these things. And then we start saying things and they're like, oh no, you're bugging. But it's like, no, like, what were you doing before I came?
Right.
You had all these intentions, but you weren't ready for those intentions. You weren't prepared. So what are we actually doing? And this is no shade. This is literally important to talk about if we want to build these families that we're talking about. Otherwise, you're coming in with the same terrible habits into your marriage, and your kids are going to see them instantly. You know?
That's real. Transparent moment. I was like that. Not saying that I wasn't ready for marriage, but I still had like that single man's support. I still had that single man's mentality. So in the early stages of my marriage, that first year, it was a little rocky because, as a young man, I'm still trying to,
transition.
I'm trying to work through some things, bro. So that's real what you just said, sis. Man, y'all take a page out of my book. For those fellas that are listening, look, if you can't afford it, don't embarrass yourself. Use wisdom, man. Stay single, bro. Because you don't want that on your name. You don't want that on your record. Women talk. Like,
I even think it's important too for the young man and men like our age. Like, it's important for you to have confidence in who you are and like what you can and can't do.
Right.
And
it's
real.
Accepting that, like, yo,
and that's cool.
I'm not at this position now.
Right.
Even though she fine.
Just
because you're trying to do something or trying to put on this front.
That's what it is.
Even though you have this insecurity deep down, and you're always trying to you want to have her, but you're going to keep her kind of at bay. Because what if she really find out?
Yep. That's so
what
dangerous.
you're hiding, and you're hiding your finances or whatever you're hiding, the other person's going to find out. And that's not a great way to start or cultivate
That's true.
a family.
Yep.
Because you starting off hiding something.
Yep.
Because your money's not where you feel confident about, so that you can provide. There's the issues with men we talk about, like, am I strong enough? Am I man enough? Can I provide? Can I, all of that. And you're going into it like fueling heavy a couple of those insecurities.
That's real. That's real. Work through that thing, man. The intentions you guys spoke on, man, intentions are great.
Yep.
But like, if it's not a plan behind it, it don't mean anything.
Nope.
It's beautiful to have intentions. It's beautiful to have goals. But like, look, if you ain't putting actions behind it, if you ain't got like a blueprint, 1, 2, 3 steps on what you want to do and how you want to accomplish it, it means absolutely nothing. So like my peoples are saying, like Stacy is saying, like Ben is saying, like I'm saying, brothers and some women, man, look, you ain't got to get out here in front. Don't stunt. Like, save your money, invest, do what you need to do to get to that promised land, that place you want to be at financially. Like, do your thing. Don't get out here trying to get an apartment in downtown Boston. Like, yo, don't do it. Like,
because you don't want to live at home.
I'm buying no new car.
For real.
To stunt.
Exactly.
Listen.
Stunt.
Man, I
like,
got
be
a
that
new
Benz
car.
on the lot.
I got that car that I have now.
Yeah.
And it was a 2014. I got it in 2015. And I struggled from the day I got it till I paid it off, because I remember the feeling that I felt like, because I was going out a lot,
Right.
I needed to have a car to show that I had value, instead of riding with the homies or, I shouldn't have been really going out. Should have been stacking my money. And I had the idea, though. I was like, oh man, but what outranked it inside of me was that appearance.
Yep.
So I needed to get this car. I still made a quality decision. Got a Honda instead of the Jeep Wrangler I wanted to get.
There you go.
And I'd have spent $10,000 more for it. But I had to pay insurance. My insurance was like $400 a month.
Oh,
My car payment was
That's
like
crazy.
$400 or $500 a month.
that's almost $1,000.
That's
Yeah,
why I
it is.
paid
Yeah.
$1,000 a month just to have a car
That's wild. In Massachusetts, mind you.
in Massachusetts, and I had to pay rent,
Sir.
food,
Whew.
bills.
The Lord was with you.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it was.
I remember going to therapy like, I hate this car. I hated this car.
Yeah.
Because it was a burden.
Right.
It no longer was
Yeah.
cool because I wasn't doing the things
Should
That you
never
wanted
be a
to do
burden.
before.
True.
that I was doing before that caused me to get the car.
Right.
So now I'm like, having this thing is a burden.
Mm.
It did allow me to live life, but so all I'm saying is that as an example, don't go into these
Yep.
things to please these people
Yep.
that you're going to have to live with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to keep you back from being who you need to be as a man for the relationship you want to have,
That's real.
you know, to create a
the road,
family,
right.
you know, like,
It's people have to think about the sacrifice they have to make now for a better life later, right? So when I graduated college, I had plenty of debt. I had a credit card, whatever, and then I got a car. So that was like crazy, and I was determined to finish my debt. And literally for years, people would ask me, "Why don't you go do this?" And I'm like, "Who's gonna finish these loans? I'm going to finish these loans." So I didn't do a lot of the things that a lot of people my age were doing because I was determined to, whenever I do end up with someone, there are no loans. Until there are no more loans in my name, right? That sacrifice was for the greater things that I plan to do in the future. Now I can afford to buy a house because I'm going to be saving and it stays in my pocket, right? And so I think it's important, and advice from me to you guys is, you know, young people, be realistic. The life that you're living right now, you're going to blink and before you know it, you're 35. And you're going to want so much more for yourself, but you're going to realize, maybe I should have taken, you know, this road instead of the other road. Maybe I should have sacrificed this brunch or this trip to Miami that everybody goes to, or Tulum, because everybody likes to go to Tulum now. And I'm not saying not to have fun and enjoy your life. Be realistic with that and budget accordingly, but take care of your finances. We live in America. A lot of what we do runs on money too.
Right.
And, you know, you want to be able to present yourself as someone who's responsible and intentional and aware of the steps that they take when you present yourself to someone else that you're interested in. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And these are all building blocks to having a beautiful, healthy, and functional family.
Right.
and that's I think all of this, right, is important too with family, like what you're saying, like building a healthy family. And it's not just like healthy that we can like have fun together.
Right.
It's healthy that, okay, how do we build finances, or what the whole new thing now, or not new, but generational wealth, right? Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what can I do as a man or us as a couple to prepare,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
For the next.
for the
Absolutely.
our children that are coming?
Right.
Okay, what do we need to do to set ourselves up, right?
Mhm.
And then, okay, how do we set them up? And then we start to train the kids
Right.
how to be good with their money, make good money decisions,
There
and,
you go.
you know, be healthy,
Yes, sir.
not only in relationship, but
Right.
their relationship with money.
Yeah, life in
Mhm.
general.
In
You
life,
wanna be a
yeah.
healthy man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Family is all about thriving. You know, back in the day, like you just said, you know, they wanted to set up for the next individuals, the next generation. So yeah, let's get this house, let's get this land, let's you
Right.
know, learn how to grow on food. You know, just from my own personal experience and my great grandfather and grandfather and how they flowed. You know, they wanted to pass something down to that next generation, and they did on to, you know, my generation now. So yeah, that's definitely important for families to thrive. Like set that up. You know, throw the lob up so, you know, when your kids come after you, they can they can do that slam dunk and everything is golden. Yeah. You laugh because they throw that lob up.
Yeah, that's
That's how I go. Just with the assist, man. Just assist the next generation, man.
That's
That's
it.
about.
have to.
Plan
Yeah.
accordingly. Plan accordingly. It's never going to be perfect, right? Because we're talking about all this, and it's not to say that it's an easy road. It's life, so it's going to
take
come with
work.
its struggles.
Yep.
But also, it's a little bit easier when you are supporting yourself and surrounding yourself with people who understand, and with people who are willing to walk you through it, and with a partner who's going to work hard with you too. Because again, you don't have to do this alone. You really don't.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And then outside of all the work, what are some of the great, like, you know, last big question, like, you know, when it comes to family, you know, we get all the work out the way.
Right.
Like, what are some of the great things about family? I know we talked about it earlier too, about like the love and the fun and stuff, but like, what is something that family gives, you know, that's bigger than the work that needs to be done?
I know, I know exactly what you're saying. I envision, so this is one of my biggest visions growing up, because I always wanted to be a mom, because I've always loved kids, and I want a lot of kids, because I want a big family. And every time I envision it, I think of myself at like, I don't know, 75, with all my kids and my grandkids at like our family home. That's family to me. The fact that everyone can come back to a center place.
Yes.
And we could spend time together.
Yes.
Because quality time is everything to me.
Yep.
So it's like, we could just have snacks all day. I don't care what we're doing. But the fact that there's a central spot that we could all come back to. And it's like, I can look and say, look what God gave me. Like literally all of this. All these wonderful, amazing people with all these talents and gifts that they're going to use to serve other people. Like that's family, you know?
Man, that's dope. That's how my grandmother was, Joyce. Same thing, and Big Daddy. You know, they had that central place in Texas. Where no matter where you was at, Dallas, North Dallas, wherever, you're going back down to the country on Sundays to have dinner and to chill and everything you just named. That was it. That was my upbringing on Sundays. Everybody meet at that location.
Right.
To fellowship, laugh. The kids outside, we throwing the football around, playing baseball. Y'all just massive. You know, down in Texas, they got land.
Yes, they do.
Everything's big in Texas.
Absolutely.
That's dope. That's beautiful right there, man. And I just got so caught up in what sister was saying. What was the question?
Yeah, you
again,
was talking
bro?
his language. He was like,
That was it. Like, that was my childhood right there, man. It was beautiful, bro. That took me back. I miss it.
Yeah, Roscoe Jenkins over there.
And we still link up at that same location.
Really?
Yeah, the house is in the family, so everybody knows.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
everybody
the
know.
center point.
Exactly. Everybody still go to that same location on Sundays for dinner. Yeah. What'd you say, bro? What was the question again, man?
What do you think of when you think of family that's outside of like the things we talked about, the work and just like the love? And
Wow. Oh, that's good. Let me ponder on that real quick, man.
I don't even have my answer either. So
I like what sis said, man.
The center point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
important.
dope. That is very important. If I could say something, it'd probably be something similar to that. But give me a minute. I ain't gonna even stunt. I can't think of that.
So
What
what
you
I'm
got?
thinking now, what's coming to my head, something I was thinking about earlier. And you know, the issue, like a lot of the issue we have with like, say, you know, racial issues, like, you know, and when it comes about the conversation about the Head Start, you know, with generations, you know, white folks been given the Head Start. And I think it's not just a financial head start.
No, it's not.
And it's like a understanding I've gotten recently, like generally, you know, you would say white families are able to, and kids and people, you know, boys and girls, just able to give their life to a work and focus on that generally. Right, like, okay, I'm, like you were saying earlier, they were cultivated to understand, oh, I like science. Now I'm going to spend my life's work on science. They're not worried about issues. Yes, obviously they have family issues.
Right.
But they're not in a mental mindset where there's lack or fear or
It's a very
they
different
have issues. Yeah, it's a different, they're not worried about either, they're also not worried about trying to move a culture forward. You know, like, it's not a worry or a concern. Like, it's about us, our family, and what we need to do to move forward.
Yeah.
It's not they're not wearing the weight of they're not bearing the weight of their world or their race or anything.
I love that you said that.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead
And it comes from family.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love that you said that. That's such a big, unfortunate burden to carry. The need to push a whole culture forward because of generational sin, right? Because of people's past choices, now you have kids who are like 20 and they feel like they have to bring the whole race of black people on their back. And unfortunately, because of the setup of our country and how everything started, that's why they still feel it now, because they feel like they're still grunging and grinding and going and going and going.
Not even at 20.
Not even at 20.
Me, you know, like us.
Man, it's hard. And granted, I don't share the same history as African Americans here because I wasn't born here, but I've seen enough and learned so much that it's like, it's just so hard. And I'm grateful that I have Christ, because that helped me realize I didn't have to carry it like that, right? I had to just worry with whatever he gave me in my time here on earth, with the people he surrounded me with the service that he called me to do. Do you know what I mean? It's no longer this multiplied effect, because I felt that multiplied effect as a kid. But now it's like, I understand, I will do better, and now I'm going to push what I can forward. I don't have to carry everything on top, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Now, I just want clarity. So when you spoke about what you were speaking about, bro, was it like a black and white thing when you spoke about the generational, like this brand of people, they ain't got to do that?
Well,
so,
I mean, at this point, it's probably not as black and white.
Okay.
But I'm saying generally,
okay,
our understanding of, you know, white folks is they're, you know, they're ahead.
Yeah.
You know, generally that's what you hear when you hear about like black history and things like that. In America, you think, oh, they got a head start. All of these true things that have happened to keep black folks back, right?
Right.
So then, just in every day when we look at kids and at a school and why, I was talking to a teacher recently and she said that, you know, there are teachers that look at certain kids and think that they're not scholars.
Yep.
You know, they just prejudge them based on probably what they look like or their capacity because their home is so dysfunctional. They don't have the capacity of their mind to even focus at school because they're in a dysfunctional. So they're easily distracted. Oh, they're not a scholar. No, they don't have the opportunity to be.
Correct.
And then they don't have anyone at home
helping them
to help them and guide them along, which they should be. Like, teachers aren't the only teachers.
Correct.
Right.
Like, you send your kids home to be taught what you're learning in school also. You know, that's the importance of family and parents. That we're going to teach our children what they need to learn. Not just, the teacher is just, okay, this is what you should learn. Go home. There's your homework.
Right.
The kids need to go home, read, study, you know, and apply it.
Right.
And who's there to help them?
Right.
Is the parents. So that's what I'm saying, like,
okay, that's
through all of the things that have happened to black folks when it comes to, you know, father not being in the home, you know, dysfunctional, prison, you know.
Yeah, you touched on it, though, bro. We didn't, well, a lot of us, then we don't have that head start because of opportunities, or like you said, you know, household distractions, etc. Like Caucasians, they don't have to push a movement of Caucasians because they're set up.
They're set up.
With us, we got it. Like, I mean, that's an unfortunate burden, but we have to do that. Black Wall Street was burnt down. So many other things, you know, that took place between, you know, history and black individuals as us, bro. You know, we don't have that opportunity. So even now, given now, we have to push that agenda to build up not just our own family, but we have to take that burden on for the next individual.
I want it to be more so like a being thing instead of a carrying thing.
Expand, you know,
like I think of it like, it's when I hear that, and even with my own life, it's something that I walk around with as like armor, as a weight, like bags on my shoulders, like, oh, I'm carrying the things that have been done to us, the things that are keeping, I'm just carrying it. Instead of letting that go and just being a black man.
Okay.
Right? Just being a black man is carrying everything already.
I see what you're saying.
I'm not worried about the weight of it. And so when I walk into a room and if they look at me a certain way, oh, it's because I'm black.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm carrying that and I have armor on to protect me and protect us as black people. It's us against them, right? Instead of it being just, I am this and I'm connected to that. Now what am I going to do? Just be.
I hear what you're saying.
Get what I'm saying? Like, just, we need to just worry about being, you know, as a people, just being and not carrying. Because if we collectively be, then it's an easier weight.
And the progression is different.
It's progression. It's faster. We're moving.
I
We're
hear
just
what you're saying.
acting.
I can dig that.
Right? Like, if I tell my child they need to do something and they're like, okay, daddy, right? But the point of why I'm telling them is to cultivate something in them. But the child is only worried about doing it. It's a disconnect because I didn't teach them why I want them to do it. It's just constantly worried about the thing.
Oh, like the actual
thing. Yeah,
Got
the
it.
issue.
Besides the full.
Yes, it's a complete understanding as a father. Okay, this is why I need you to do this. If you do this, it helps me. You know, when I talk to fathers, they're like, yo, it always helps whenever I guide them. This is what I need you to do. You know, when the kid's getting like a teenage age, this is what I need you to do because it helps me help all of you.
Right.
If you do your part, it helps me to do my job. As a father in the house, we're working together. It's not that I'm just, this is your job.
Right.
And I think that that's like, in a way, similar. Like, we're worrying about the things, right? Instead of understanding how we're connected in the progression.
So you linking worrying about the things as caring the things.
Yes. Because it's now a weight. It's like we're carrying it. Instead of like, so even when you look at black families, right, that have excelled and they're given the same tools that they were given, whatever lessons that they got from, you know, people that have been successful, they're applying that to their children, and the children doing the same thing, creating businesses and all that, and advancing financially, becoming good, healthy, holistic people, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
But like, those are things they're not worrying. You don't see them outside with, you know.
It's a different fight.
Yeah.
It's a different fight.
They're good.
And it's not that all fights aren't necessary. They are.
Right.
You need to have the fight at all levels.
Right.
But it's a shift in just the carrying of it. It's just the
mentality
doing.
behind
Yeah, it's a
it.
mentality. It's like, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I don't need you to be like, oh, that's a good, you know.
Well, wait a minute.
He's a good one.
Well, the example you just gave is similar to, you know, Caucasian upbringing. Like if the family is, if that black family is set or golden, you know, not to be too loose with the mouth, but they got the silver spoon in their mouth.
In
already.
the mindset.
That's what I'm saying. They good though, because I mean the mindset gonna be straight because their upbringing is straight.
Yeah.
Now, opposed to a family that's brought up from struggle, that's quote unquote, as they would say, I got it out the mud or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, the mentality is gonna be different. They gonna feel like they gotta carry this because they see what this community, the community they was brought up in, they see what it's like. So yeah, they gonna carry it. So they ain't gonna know nothing about just be,
that mindset.
because it's not easy for them. So they gonna carry their burden because I don't want the people that's behind me, I want them to just be.
And I'm with you. And I 100% agree. And you look at guys that are like creating things like Earn Your Leisure, you know, the podcast we talk about finances, young black men, Black Renaissance is another page. Wall Street Trapper, what is it? Yeah.
Wall Street Trapper.
Yep, the Wall Street
something.
Trapper. It's the Wall Street Trapper because he went to prison. And he learned about stocks in prison.
There
Learned
you
about
go.
the game.
Okay,
he
yeah,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah,
now he's
yeah.
teaching the masses.
Yeah.
So I think it is our burden to be Moses,
Oh, okay.
right? Like, it's our job to help our people out through the mindset, right? And understanding you don't need to carry it.
The same way.
You need to do it. You doing it breaks cycles, It breaks issues,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because now you're the one that's going to create that for the next ones behind you.
All right,
Get what I'm saying? Like,
so all right. So you saying carrying it, but not doing nothing with it.
yes.
All right, now I got you. All right, that's it.
Even the carrying, right? Because it's unhealthy.
Yeah, carrying anyway.
Yeah. People talk about it in relationships. You come in
Right.
with all these baggage, it's unhealthy. So now it's going to wear on me.
Mm-hmm.
Your baggage is going to wear on me,
Right.
right? As your partner. So how does that wear on the people that you deal with every day?
It changes your perspective on how you see them too.
Right.
It like automatically becomes a filter of some sort where you might not be able to see things the way they should be seen
Right.
because you're carrying burden, you're carrying pain, you're carrying anger.
Where's the peace?
Where's the peace? You gotta and I understand what you're saying, Chris, too, where it's like, if you never had the space to just be, you won't know how to get there. So I think a solution that I have no idea how long it'll take is to
Therapy.
therapy.
Yeah, therapy
is to
life.
teach how to bridge that, go from carrying to now being.
That's
how do
dope.
we do that?
Yeah.
How do we actually love on one another to be able to do that? Because there are a lot of Black people who are angry, and I get it. I was angry, but the Holy Spirit had to work in my heart to teach me being angry would not help me progress.
Amen.
Right? I had to learn to use that energy, allow the Holy Spirit to transform it into something that would allow me to give back to my community instead of just carrying this anger. So now when I look at people, of course I'm aware of what's going on around me. I'm a Black woman. I know what's going on, but I'm not coming towards you with the same energy I could have back in college because I'm realizing I'm a Black woman. I know what this is. If this is the voice in the space in which I should be speaking, I will. And if it's not, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing for my people. That's it.
Beautiful. I love it. Don't get caught up.
It also goes with they talk about, which has been said in Black communities where like Black people are powerful, right? Strong. Even the spirit is powerful. And we needed to be broken so that others could advance on top of us, right? So I think that it's true, right? In a sense, like we are strong, righteous, and powerful people in spirit, mind, and body, but we're not free yet to be that strong, righteous, mind, body, and spirit person because we're carrying things that we think we should carry that actually don't allow us to be that.
Listen, you're saying something, and I literally hear, when Christ asked us he said that his yoke is easy and his burden is light. I just think about that. If we were to actually believe that and take it into our daily lives, it would allow us to be. Because we would be what he called us to be for the generation of time he's called us to be in that. You know what I mean? It'd be different. We wouldn't have to carry all that. Christ knows what we've gone through. He knows what every single one of his children have gone through, right? He knows the entire history better than we ever will. And so that verse is so, you're saying this and I'm like, oh snap, that makes more sense now. If we were to just transfer it and allow him to just work in us to be for this time period, we will move accordingly. And it's hard, but we will move accordingly. You know what I mean? Like it can't be done alone. It's too big, too impactful, too heavy, terribly evil. You know what I mean? It's so heavy.
And look at it, even take it away from like race. Look at it in your relationships.
Hello.
Somebody did something wrong. How easy it for you to let that go and love them no matter what. Right? What you've done to me actually has no bearing on how I should treat and love you. So then that's just me being who I am and being this person of love that Christ has called us to be. But if I then bear the weight of what you've done to me
And then carry it to the next
and
person.
carry it, not even with you.
Mm.
Never mind the
True.
next person.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
even
yeah,
with
yeah.
you.
Yep.
What kind of family dynamic do we have now?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're both doing that.
Can you imagine?
I mean, I would imagine that's why I love my parents. I would imagine that's what happened.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, in a grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
they might not know it like that, but,
Yep.
you know, hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
And if you
That's true.
carry hurt, you're going to hurt.
Yes.
And once you lay down, you know, it's like when you were talking about Christ, and Christ talks about turn the other cheek, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are there's this whole series of scriptures where basically if you were enslaved or you were made to go with someone a mile, go with them 2 miles.
2 miles. Yeah.
Right? If whatever someone has done for you, do more than
go
actually
the
what
extra
they
mile.
go the extra mile.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not about what they're doing to you.
Right.
It's about your ability to then do or be who you are no matter what.
Because that's what Christ does for us all the time.
Yeah.
We will never be able to repay anything.
And we're constantly getting more slashes on
all
his
the
back
time
because of our issues.
Our hot mess, exactly. But here, he literally goes beyond our imaginations for us.
And it's all about freedom, right? I have come to sit, you know, what is it? I have come, basically, come to set you free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and was he talking to people in chains? Like, I don't think so. You know, so like if you take that scripture to today, we're not in chains anymore.
We're not
physically.
Mm-hmm.
So what does he need to set us free from?
The things in our minds,
the weights,
Definitely
the
the
burdens,
our
the
hearts.
issues.
Yeah.
And it's hard, like, to let those things go. We can't forget them, but we have to let go of the carrying of it because it literally holds us back from being, you know, in every level of our life.
So, man, when I think about carrying, bro, it doesn't even always equate to something bad or something negative. So that's what.
I'm sorry to cut you off. If you hold a bottle,
yeah.
How long can I hold this bottle?
For your arm.
It's not even a lot, right?
I'm about to say the bottle that I'm looking at, probably 10 days, bro.
And then how long after that?
Probably another 20.
Okay, and then how long after that?
I'll let about 100.
And I never let it down though.
No, I'm stretching it. Probably.
I know.
Probably 5 minutes, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Your arm's gonna start to burn a little different,
right? And imagine what that does to our minds. We just carrying.
But even the Bible, bro, even Paul spoke about carrying each other's burdens. So what I'm saying, even though you speak about carrying, it doesn't necessarily always have to be a bad thing. Carrying can be something positive too.
True.
Yes, if it's fuel.
That's dope. That's what I'm saying.
It's fuel,
but the carrying you speaking on is something that's negative and holding you back and holding you down. I can dig that. But the carrying that I was thinking of is something that's it's your God-given right. You're born and bred to carry this burden. You're built for this. We just spoke about how we got these big arms and shoulders for a reason. So you're meant to hold this up. My name even means bearer of Christ, a Christ bearer. I'm Christopher. So I know I'm born and bred to carry other people's burden and to look out for the next.
I see
so that we can be built to carry something positive.
Yep.
To usher in something that's something that's more pleasant and beautiful. We're definitely built to carry each other's burden. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
But as long as it ain't negative, we can rock with that. We can rock with that right there. But the carrying, I think that's a must. We'll come back to that topic.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
That's definitely
I just
a must.
was looking at it more so in the negative sense that the way it's depicted in our society now is because we're holding us armor up, keeping those at bay. Even, white folks or black folks that are more successful, it's like, yo, oh, you had the silver spoon, like you were saying. Yeah. You were lucky, or you had the advance. And yes, we have limitations, but I'm learning that even within myself, it's only been in my mind.
Yeah. It ain't something that's permanent.
There's no actual thing holding me back.
Yeah.
Listen,
There's no actual thing holding me down.
Never put
It's
limits
just a
on
belief.
yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the carrying is holding us back because
That resistance.
it's in our head. We believe that this system is holding us back. We believe that these people don't like us.
Listen,
We
you're
believe.
Yeah, when you put it like that, then yeah.
That's what
it.
I'm saying.
Yeah. You put it like that, then
Yeah.
You let that go to just be.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then, I mean, this might be the strict side of me, bro, but, that makes you look weak. You talking about, this system is holding me back. Nah, you holding
Excuses.
you back. Yeah, you holding you back.
Yeah.
You guys
Like-
opening up a box right now, man.
I like,
But to tie it all back,
yeah,
this is the reason why.
family is dope. My bad. We
gotta have to
get
do part
loose.
2.
I know, man. Yo,
Right.
Sometimes we have like 3 or 4 different topics within
Coming
one
out
topic.
of one.
Yeah, yo. Yeah, sis. I know you. Let me tag sis and Stacy got something to say.
No, the box that you're opening up is really big. And I agree with both of you. I think there is a healthy relationship in carrying each other's weight because it helps get through life a little bit easier. That's the whole point, right? Empathy, right? You want to be there to support one another in that way. But also the freedom that you're talking about, the mental freedom. And I always bring it back to Christ because I remember where I was. I was very upset. I was like a very militant black woman in college, okay? Because I was seeing, when I was in college was 2012 to 2016, when all those things were happening on college campuses, the shootings and everything. And so, I'm surrounded by students like me who are just angry and tired, right? Like the generations before us. But the Holy Spirit had to really work in me and remind me, hold on, am I stronger or are the people stronger? Like, who's stronger? And I'm like, oh, right, you're stronger.
There you
so
go.
I could still be who I need to be
There you
and
go.
still fight accordingly because real justice, real social justice, Jesus be knowing about that. And I can very much be the woman that I need to be in this world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where my quote unquote chains were released because I realized it doesn't matter who tells me what. If God is telling me I'm going to go over there, that's where I'm going to be, regardless of anybody around me. You know what I mean?
Facts. That's real. I agree with that.
I love it. Do y'all have any words of encouragement?
I think my biggest one is be realistic of where you are in your life and make decisions not because of right now, but because of what you want later on. And although it's going to be a slightly uncomfortable decision, you're not going to like it. It might take some time. You're going to reap the benefits in a very different way, in ways you probably wouldn't have even imagined, right? So when we were talking about money, learning to be quote unquote penny pincher, being aware of your sense and knowing how to manage your money, there's going to be a point in time where it's going to be so habitual that you won't even think twice about it. So when you have, a family, when you have a wife or a husband or whatever may have you, you're going to know what to do. The burden of learning it won't be as painful because you will already be doing it for so long. You'll know how to manage your own. So make wise decisions for a better tomorrow, not just for a momentary time.
Woo! I like that.
Yo,
That was dope.
whenever you be talking, Chris, you get Chris
Chris be
hype.
smiling.
She can see it in her, she can see it in her peripheral view. You cheesing, yo, man. For me, time. I mean, life is long. We got time, but we don't have time. So at any given time, a family member can drop off.
Right.
So, man, the advice I can give to people today: go love on your loved ones. Go to a movie. Go, visit Big Mama. Rub your wife's feet. Have those deep talks, laugh, play. Go for a walk on the beach. Enjoy family, man. Because you never know when someone's about to leave this earth. So that would be my advice, to just enjoy your people, love on your loved ones, go out, have fun, enjoy life, live life. That's it.
Yeah. The only thing I have to say is just put the work in. Yeah.
Yep.
This is like having a family. It's all about work. It's not about you anymore.
Yep.
Indeed.
It's about everybody else. So,
Yeah.
Put the work in.
Sounds
Amen
good.
to that. Boy,
Absolutely.
I told y'all, strap your wigs on.
We're in this one today.
Fire episode, yo.
He
Told
knew it. He
y'all.
walked in. He was like, something about to happen.
Yeah, yo, man, look, I always get it. I mean, it's dope with me and you vibing, but
Yeah.
I love it when someone else is in the mix. It's
sure.
beautiful, man. And she's here to stay.
Hey.
Here to stay.
Hey.
We got a round of
So
applause.
excited.
Clap that I love it, man. Well, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And on that note,
Peace.
peace.
Bye.
Nice.
Thank you for listening to the Follow Then Lead podcast. You can reach us on social media at
The email is followthenleadinc@gmail.com. Instagram, Follow Then Lead Podcast. And our Twitter is Follow Then Lead P. Until next time,
Take It Easy.
word.